Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider, the equestrian team saddles up for the SEC championship. Changes are on the way for high school sports in the Palmetto State. But first, Dawn Staley and the women's basketball team take it to the next level.
You know, we hang our hat on our experience from
Carolina Insider starts now.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for Carolina Insider Sports Edition. I'm Addison Thornton. Our top story today, the Gamecocks are gearing up once again for the Sweet 16. They'll take on Maryland Friday at 5 in the Birmingham bracket. To get there, South Carolina took to the dance floor on Friday with a resounding win over Tennessee Tech, followed by a battle that was a little too close for comfort against Indiana on Sunday. Maryland survived a nail-biter against Alabama, winning by 3 points in double overtime. The road to Final Four is always a battle, but it's nothing new for Dawn Staley and the fans. Here with more on that, in today's Garnet Report is Dakota Morris from outside Colonial Life Arena. Dakota?
That's right, Addison. The madness got underway this past weekend here in Columbia. Two teams came to town to try to topple the reigning national champions, but it didn't quite work out that way. Now the Gamecocks will head to their 11th straight Sweet 16, where the competition will start to amp up. But many of the Gamecocks have been there before, and head coach Dawn Staley is ready to utilize that experience.
You know, we hang our hat on our experience from tournament to tournament. Like we very rarely go into a tournament where, you know, they're super young. Even the freshies, they didn't get a chance to go in 2020, but we played such a great non-conference schedule.
Now the Gamecocks turn their attention to Maryland. If they're able to overcome that challenge on the dance floor, they'll head to their 9th overall Elite Eight. Back to you in the studio, Addison.
Thanks, Dakota. And a quick update on the other USC. Southern California will play the remainder of their tournament run without star player Juju Watkins. Watkins suffered a season-ending injury Monday against Mississippi State. According to ESPN, she tore her ACL. On the men's side of the ball, the Gamecock season officially came to an end with a losing record. The team was invited to play in the NIT tourney, but Coach Lamont Paris turned it down. In an Instagram post, Paris said he has immense respect for the tournament, but due to injuries and transfers, he thought it best to prepare for next season. Speaking of transfers, the state's high school athletic league will have a new set of rules in place starting this fall. Last Wednesday, athletic directors around the Palmetto State granted athletes a one-time penalty-free transfer option. But the transfer must take place on or before the start of the season's first practice. If it takes place after that date, the athlete will be deemed ineligible to play for 30 days, or half the total number of games. This new rule is designed to discourage athletic transferring more than once. Spring practice kicked off last week for South Carolina football program. Although many programs have decided to no longer hold a spring game, Gamecock coach Shane Beamer told the state newspaper he thinks the positives still outweigh the negatives. More than 30,000 fans showed up for the game last year. Beamer and company look forward to seeing fans pack Williams-Brice Stadium again on April 18th. Finally today, USC's equestrian team has reined in much success this year, finishing off its regular season with a 3-event win streak. They travel to Tryon, North Carolina this weekend to compete as the 4 seed in the SEC tournament. The team starts with a tough matchup against the number 1 seed Auburn. If they're able to ride past the Tigers, they will face Georgia or Texas A&M. Sophomore Jordan Humbert believes her team is prepared for the challenge.
We had a really good few weeks of postseason practice, so I think we're really just honing in on the important things.
No matter what happens this weekend, the Gamecock season won't come to an end just yet. Thanks to their 7th place national ranking, they have already secured their spot in the National College Equestrian Association Championships. They take place April 16th through the 19th in Ocala, Florida. That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here next week.